Today, we're diving into a topic that affects us all at some point: impulsive reactions. You know those moments where you say or do something you totally regret later? Yeah, we've all been there. But the good news is, we don't have to be ruled by our impulses. We can learn to manage those knee-jerk reactions and make more thoughtful choices. Think of it like training a puppy. It takes time, patience, and maybe a few accidents along the way. But eventually, you can teach that little furball to sit, stay, and not eat your slippers. And that's what we're going to do today: train our own impulsive puppies. So grab your metaphorical leashes and let's explore some practical techniques to master impulsivity and make decisions we're proud of. Okay, first things first. Breathe in, breathe out. Sounds simple, right? But seriously, folks, when you feel that urge to react impulsively, that I'm gonna scream now feeling, hit the pause button and just breathe. Deep breaths, like you're smelling a giant plate of freshly baked cookies. This little pause, even if it's just for a few seconds, creates a tiny space between the feeling and the reaction. And in that space, that's where the magic happens. That's where you gain control. So you've mastered the pause button, bravo. Now let's add another layer of awesome to your impulsivity-busting toolkit: counting. Yep, just like Count Dracula, but instead of counting bats, we're counting to 10, or 20, or 100 if that's what it takes. The point is, counting gives your brain a chance to catch up with your emotions. It's like hitting the reset button on your internal computer. By the time you reach 10, you'll be surprised how much calmer and more in control you feel. Trust me, it's way better than saying something you'll regret later. All right, let's talk mindfulness. Don't worry, this isn't about chanting Om on a mountaintop. Unless you're into that, then go for it. Mindfulness is simply about being present in the moment, like really paying attention to what's happening inside and outside of you. Think of it like this. You know those times when you're driving and suddenly realize you have no idea how you got there? That's your autopilot taking over. Mindfulness is like turning off the autopilot and actually being aware of every turn, every stop sign, every hilarious bumper sticker. And when you're mindful, you're less likely to let your emotions steer you into a ditch. We've all been there, feeling like a pressure cooker about to explode. But here's a little secret. Giving that feeling a name can actually help you diffuse it. It's like saying, "Hey anger, I see you hanging out in my stomach, but I'm on to you." By acknowledging your emotions, whether it's anger, frustration, sadness, or even excitement, you're taking away their power. You're not letting them control you. You're simply observing them. It's like having a front row seat to the emotional roller coaster, but you get to choose whether or not to get on the ride. Okay, this tip is all about channeling your inner detective. Before you react to something, take a minute to play the "what's the worst that could happen" game. Let your imagination run wild. Seriously. Think about the absolute worst possible outcome of your impulsive reaction. Will the world end? Will you be banished to a deserted island with no Wi-Fi? Probably not. Most of the time, the worst-case scenario is something you can handle. And once you realize that, the initial urge to react loses its power. Remember timeouts as a kid? Well, guess what? They're not just for kids anymore. Sometimes the best way to avoid an impulsive reaction is to simply remove yourself from the situation. Think of it like pressing the pause button on a video game. You're not quitting the game, you're just taking a breather to strategize. So the next time you feel that urge to react impulsively, excuse yourself politely and take a walk, listen to some music, or just hide in the bathroom for a few minutes. Your future self will thank you. Let's face it. Life can be stressful, and when we're stressed, we're more likely to react impulsively. That's why it's so important to have healthy coping mechanisms. Think of them like your stress-busting superpowers, whether it's exercising, writing in a journal, dancing like nobody's watching, or calling your best friend for a good laugh. Find what works for you and make it a regular part of your life. Trust me, your brain and body will thank you for it. We all have those situations that push our buttons. Maybe it's a certain person, a particular topic, or just being hangry. Yeah, we've all been there. But here's the good news. You can train your brain to react differently in those situations. Think of it like creating a new habit. Let's say you always snap at your partner when you're stressed about work. Instead of reacting impulsively, try a new habit like saying, "I need a minute to de-stress before we talk about this." It takes practice, but over time your brain will start to associate those tricky situations with your new, healthier response. Listen, there's no shame in asking for help. If you're struggling with impulsivity, talking to a therapist or counselor can be incredibly helpful. Think of them like your emotional coaches. They can help you understand the root causes of your impulsivity, develop personalized coping strategies, and give you the tools you need to make lasting change. Remember, asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Here's the deal. We're all human. We all make mistakes. And yes, we all react impulsively sometimes. The important thing is to not beat yourself up about it. Instead, treat yourself with the same kindness and compassion you would offer a friend. Remember, learning to manage impulsivity is a journey, not a destination. There will be bumps in the road, but that's okay. The key is to keep practicing, keep learning, and keep moving forward. All right, everyone, that's a wrap on today's Impulsivity Masterclass. Remember, you are not your impulses. You have the power to choose how you respond to the world around you. So go forth, practice those tips, and remember, progress, not perfection, is the goal. And hey, if you found these tips helpful, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel for more awesome content, and share it with your friends. Let's spread the impulsivity busting love. See you next time.